congratulations to Monero. They had a successful network upgrade. And so Monero is now more private and efficient with ring size 16, bulletproof plus, and view tags, making sure your node wallet is up to date to continue using Monero. Privacy and fungibility matter, and it's exciting to keep improving. What is in this upgrade? So this was on Saturday. The number of signers for a ring signature will increase from 11 to 16 for transactions. Bulletproofs Plus, an upgrade to the current Bulletproofs algorithm, will be introduced. Bulletproofs Plus reduce transaction size and increase transaction speed. Overall performance is expected to improve by 5 to 7%. View tags will be a new way to speed up wallet syncing by 30 to 40%, which is pretty incredible. And fee changes will minimize fee volatility and improve overall network security. Along with multi-signature functionality will be improved and critical security patches will be added. Now, you guys know we were talking about the profitability of Monero not being that great. There's new fee structures, so on going on here. We're going to get into more details later in a video, and it is maybe time to look at, what are you guys doing on Monero? Also, we have P2Pools, which are extremely important for decentralization. So digging in and learning right now in the bear market is the best thing you can do. And starting out with a privacy crypto that basically has the first implemented P2Pool available would be something that I would highly encourage right now. Overall, super bullish on Monero. Obviously not financial advice, but personally bullish on Monero as we get into the rest of all of this craziness in macroeconomics and so on. Of course, with the privacy, the amount of decentralization, and its solid network with frequent upgrades, it's pretty awesome. Now, there is a dude named Chandler Guo, and he is reiterating his support for the Ethereum fork post-merge. Now, obviously, we have the merge coming up in about 30 days at the earliest now, right? It's between 15th and 16th, the latest, the 20th. That's what we're being told. We have a total terminal difficulty set, meaning that this can be measured, and that can be adjusted depending on the amount of hash rate on Ethereum. It doesn't look like the hash rate on Ethereum is going down by any means, by the way, either. Meaning, what are we going to see from the mining perspective from the merge? We don't know. We can't determine that because there seems to be no sort of shaking of hash rate off of the Ethereum network, even though we do have a total terminal difficulty set. But, we are now hearing all of this word about another Ethereum fork, and that would be 3 Ethereums. As you guys know, Ethereum Classic never really took off on the initial fork, and it didn't end up going so well in the early days. Now, Ethereum Classic has recovered a lot, but any new fork would probably suffer, in my humble opinion, the same issues that Ethereum Classic did on the previous fork. A lot of investors, developers, and so on are going to stick with Ethereum. That is just the fact of the matter, and it's going to be interesting to see. One of the things that I did want to point out, because people always ask me, why Ergo? And here is why Ergo, just flat out, right? Ergo is the only ground up competitor to Ethereum that is proof of work. There is, of course, Ethereum Classic, but that's not ground up. That's a fork of Ethereum. And if we're talking about a ground up project that is proof of work that has all of the features and capabilities of Ethereum with additional features and capabilities, I might add, it's only Ergo. There is no other one. So from the proof of work standpoint, you need to be taking that into consideration as moving forward. Does that mean that there's not other good projects for proof of work? No, because obviously there are other things within cryptocurrency and blockchain and other technologies and things that you could be deploying that are beneficial. For example, all the work that Flux is doing with Web 3.0. And so there is, of course, other projects and are, of course, other projects. And then, of course, there's the question of what happens if there's failure on Ethereum after the merge. What's the easiest for devs to move to? Well, as you guys may know, a lot of that can come down to just adoption and so on, and adoption of a cryptocurrency into things like exchanges and wallet support and so on, and even like compatibility with EVMs and such, could force people, as far as devs, if there is something wrong with Ethereum, to move to Ethereum Classic. So there's all your arguments for all of the proof of work coins that you guys may or may not be interested in, and that is for them. I have arguments against each single one, including Ergo, but we won't get into the arguments against them because we would just end up sitting here all day debating, I think. Let's get into this because we need to figure this out. Miner Chandler Guo repeats support for Ethereum fork post-merge. He told CoinDesk TV he wants to create a new proof-of-work blockchain to help miners. Ethereum miner Chandler Guo is reiterating his push for Ethereum to undergo a hard fork once it becomes a proof-of-stake blockchain next month in a software update known as the merge. He told CoinDesk TV's First Mover program on Friday that he has helped organize miners to back his effort as a way to save them from having to shut down their business. This time, the fork is much more difficult because I need to organize a lot of people, miners, to join this fork, Guo said. And here's the deal. Am I planning on it? Not financial advice. Am I planning on going with a fork of Ethereum? No, I wouldn't. In fact, like I said, I'm going to be much more inclined to support something completely away from the Ethereum ecosystem, whether that be Ergo, Flux, Caspa, anything else, right, at this point. So yes, he does have a difficult position here because also who takes control of this, right? Well, if we look at essentially the kind of path that this fork is already taking, there are basically three different people that would take control of this chain. And this is important because who is going to be in charge of the chain will have some effect on how successful it is. So number one, we have Bitmain and Antpool moving away. They're looking at Ethereum Classic. So they're out. We have their $10 million donation or however that functions, funding for Ethereum Classic projects. That's important to note too, because that means you have that Bitmain in control and that influence over the Ethereum network. What does that mean for miners? That means that more than likely, well, it's Bitmain, it's Ethereum ASICs. It is probably going to be focused on ASICs. That is what we're looking at. When we look at this project in particular, a proof of work Ethereum, a third fork, or a second fork, a third Ethereum, what are we looking at there? Well, we're looking at two people. We're looking at Guo here, and we're looking at Justin Sun, and that's the Polo Niex exchange. Neither of which have had, a successful time with what they've done, with Guo obviously forking Ethereum Classic and organizing that. And then, of course, Justin Sun's propensity to scams is the best way I could put that. And these are not people that you necessarily want to put your trust in to manage a fork and manage a whole new chain, at least in my humble opinion. That's what I see when I look at it. Ethereum is making the move to a more energy efficient proof of stake method, maintaining its network and validating transactions from its current proof of work method around September 15th and 16th, according to the developers. Guo has been pushing for a fork for several weeks. In July, he tweeted, "I fork Ethereum once, I will fork it again." While the network is expected to slash upwards of 99% of its energy consumption after becoming a proof of stake platform, Guo argues that miners should be taken into account. A lot of people, miners, are suffering, he said. Some miners, however, may benefit from the merge, particularly Ethereum Classic miners, according to JP Morgan analysts, which we covered that article last week. And CoinDesk reported on Thursday that the software update will likely make more used mining rigs available. Guo, who has supported the fork of Ethereum Classic in the past, said that he plans to hold the native token of the forked proof of work blockchain dubbed ETHW until the next bull market, which he estimates that will happen in the next 2 years. Overall, to me, ETHW sounds like a money grab. You want to be very careful surrounding it. If he's holding it till the next bull market, what is he saying already? That he plans to dump it in the next bull run. And I don't know necessarily that that's a bad plan. It's just not a sustainable one for miners. So if your initial statement is, well, I'm going to fork ETHW and then I'm going to hold the coin so I can dump it in the next bull run, you're already telling me that you don't really have plans on actually making this a usable, viable blockchain. You just have plans to make some money off of it. And that is where I see a bunch of red flags begin to come up. And we can see a similar sentiment from Justin Sons in their listing on the Polyonex, or I can never pronounce that exchange, but where you have a listing of ETHW and its parity's not bad. I think it's like 70% of ETH right now, but it doesn't have any ties to a real blockchain, meaning any of your purchases are just recorded in that centralized exchange. And there's no proof and no way for you to send it out of that exchange. So there's no proof of ownership. So be very careful surrounding that. All right. And I highly doubt that ETHW will end up launching with a 70% price compared to ETH proof of stake, or how ETHP, ETHS, ETHS. Yeah. Thanks for checking out this clip from the Crypto Mining Show. You can check out the full episode here or more crypto content down here. Also, I'd like you to check out my locals page at sonofatech.locals.com, where you can become a member for free or choose to be a $5 a month supporter that unlocks additional content.